Okay, I'm definitely repeating what everyone else like early on said about the Across the Spider Verse, but I gotta say it is amazing. It's like an amazing piece of art. This movie. I mean, just everything from the animation, the way they built on the characters from the first movie. Like the first movie was great. I thought the first movie was great. Like it was, I think it was one of the best animated movies there has been. It's probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. And this one just topped it. They did everything better than the first movie. And yeah, I love this movie. This one, this one was great. And yeah, and they built on like pretty much a couple of the characters. I would say like maybe like the two main characters in here, which of course is Miles, of course, which they built on his character, of course, because he is the main star of the two movies. But Gwen Stacy, it's Spider Gwen. They built on her character too. She's almost like a main character with Miles in this movie because they show you what she has what she had to go through in her universe. And they showed you a glimpse in like the first movie, of course, where she has her like Peter Parker that dies, but we kind of get or we do get the kind of the full story of what she goes through in her universe with Peter Parker. And I thought that was great. Just like showed you that yeah, she's had it rough, just like every one of these Spider-Man in this movie. And there's a lot of Spider-Man in this movie. If you've seen the trailers, of course, like if you've seen anything, yeah, you see Spider-Man chasing after Miles Morales, and yeah, and like all the Spider-Man are just, I mean, just seeing them on screen, like there are just Easter eggs all over the place. I mean, I think you have to freeze frame it because I feel like I missed a lot. Like I think I missed the PS5 or PS4 Spider-Man, PlayStation Spider-Man, who I saw in the trailers, but I didn't even spot him in the movie. So I don't know. But yeah, but the way they built on both the characters with Miles with his parents, of course, I thought it was cool, and of course Gwen with her father, Captain Stacy. I thought that was cool too, and like one of the other characters we saw in the like we see in here is Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. I thought he was great too. He's kind of like I want to say the antagonist of the movie. Like you kind of think maybe in the trailers he's gonna be the villain, but I would say he's more of like an antagonist because he's not a villain at all because you understand where he's coming from, and yeah, I don't even think he's an antagonist at all. I don't even want to call him an antagonist at all because yeah, he's going through a lot of stuff too, and he has a job to do, and he's trying to get this job done, and this is like pretty much the what he's doing going against Miles in this is pretty much what he thinks should happen, and he's kind of got a point. He's kind of got a point in this. He's coming from experience. So yeah, Oscar Isaac did the voice of him in this movie, so I thought he was good. And of course, with the voices of Miles, that's Shamik Moore, and then of course Haley Steinfeld as Spider Gwen, also pretty good in this movie. And yeah, the Spider-Man, of course, are just all over the place, all good. Like the ones we saw in the movie, like Peter Parker returning, of course, with his baby. I thought that was cool. I feel like he didn't get much to do in here, but he might get like a little more to do in the second one. There's some other additions I thought were cool too, like Spider Punk. I mean, yeah, Spider Punk was good. Daniel Kaluuya voiced him, and yeah, I mean, he got his like Cockney accent down. I feel like it's Daniel Kaluuya's probably I think it's his normal accent probably. So yeah, Daniel Kaluuya voice in that was really good. And Spider Woman, Jessica Drew, I thought she was a cool character to see in here. I think Issa Rae voiced her in here, so she was cool. Riding her motorcycle, I thought that was awesome. And let's see, I think we saw Scarlet Spider. I thought that was cool seeing him. We saw him only really briefly in here, so I thought that was cool. And oh my god, Spider-Man India, I think that's his name. So yeah, that was another cool character. They were all really unique Spider-Man to see in this movie. I thought like they're all pretty cool. One antagonist that we do see in the movie is the Spot, and at first you kind of think he's like a throwaway villain because it's kind of like the villain that Miles opens up with like going against, but actually turns into something else, and he kind of started to fear him because he's kind of a bit creepy and he has motivation about like going against Miles. So it turns into really something else, and something else that's gonna probably last in the Spider-Verse movies. So yeah, he's a kind of a cool character once you get to see him in here. And just like the first one, the story is pretty great also in this. The stuff with Miles, it takes a dark turn where you see what he wants to get done, and that of course opposes Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara. So you see motivation from both sides on why they're trying to why they're going against each other. From Miguel O'Hara's point of view, that you kind of see that there's bad stuff that's gonna happen if Miles does what he's gonna do, and you kind of feel for him, and you kind of understand why he's trying to stop Miles from doing what he's doing. And I don't want to go too much into it because I'm gonna blow out spoilers. I'll save that for later in the video. But story is great in this, and man, the way it's gonna carry into Beyond the Spider-Verse is gonna be, ooh man, the way this ended. And of course, we gotta talk about the animation in this movie. Like the first movie came out, and it had that distinct style of animation that's pretty much like a comic book, and something that no other movie has ever done. No other animated movie has ever done, and the way they built on that in this movie was just amazing. They still have that style animation, and it's very distinct from other universes in this movie because they go through other universes into other to see how that is, and they make it distinct with each universe. It's pretty cool with the coloring. It's almost like comic book panels brought to life. There's so much detail in this too. There's little detail you might not pick up at first. There's a little detail where him or his parents are having a parent-teacher conference, and his mother gets mad about him getting a B in Spanish, and she snaps, and you see a little Puerto Rican flag right there. I thought that was pretty cool. But the animation is just great in this, and they really did something amazing because I feel like each frame is a work of art, and it's like I want multiple frames in the movie as a poster on my wall. I thought it was great. So definitely gotta get a Spider-Verse poster somewhere. So I love this movie. It's definitely my favorite movie of the year so far, and it might stay that way throughout the entire year because I know this is big summer movie season. There's a lot of big movies that are coming out. Flash is coming out in a couple weeks, but it might be likely that this stays as my favorite movie of the year. So it was great. And but the rating though, the rating, I don't know if I can go 10 out of 10. As much as I love this, it has to do with the ending, because I feel like with the ending, it isn't really a completed story, but I like the ending. I'll probably talk about that more in the spoilers, but I think with the ending, I just can't go 10 out of 10. Maybe when Beyond the Spider-Verse, this part 2 comes out next year, I'll just say I'll rate the two movies together. but as this movie Across the Spider-Verse, as of this single movie Across the Spider-Verse, I would probably give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's that good. So it's that amazing. So I guess it's time to go into spoilers here. So if you've not seen the movie, best tune away now. I'll wait a couple seconds. All right. Everyone clicked away now? All right, let's get into it. So that ending, though, the cliffhanger ending of him going into what he thinks is going to be his universe, him telling his mom that he's Spider-Man, but he actually went into the the Spider-Man universe that doesn't have a Spider-Man, because of course the whole thing with the spider going the spider that didn't belong in his universe biting him, of course that was mentioned earlier. But that was crazy. And of course with him, the Miles in that universe being the Prowler, I thought, okay, that was great. Even with Uncle Aaron, Aaron Davis being there, I thought it was cool too. And his dad in that universe is died, so I thought that was cool. That was cool, with that ending right there. And of course with Spider Gwen coming in, and of course we're getting back the other Spider-Man from the past movie, Spider-Ham. You got Nicolas Cage, Spider-Man Noir. You got that. I forgot the robot Spider-Man. I forgot the anime girl Spider-Man. But she had a brief appearance in here, and then she had she was at the end, and of course with like Spider Punk and all like the rest. Jessica Drew, I think, was Jessica Drew there? I don't know if Jessica Drew was there, but yeah, but that was it's a cool ending, but it's like it's an ending that makes you just want more. Like I feel like the theater I was in just erupted because like they were just like, oh man, dude, we don't want to see it end right there. So I thought, great ending to this movie. If you're gonna leave it off at a cliffhanger, great ending. And also the way the story took a dark turn, and Miles just wanting to save his father because, like they say, his father has to die, of course, to keep the canon going the way it should go. So I thought, okay, that's definitely fascinating. And of course with the spot being from like the first movie, like the guy he threw a bagel at, and him having the motivation because like he was there when the collider exploded, and yeah, and that turned him into the Spot, and he's the one who got the spider into like the universe that Miles is in. So I thought, okay, everything from that was great because the Spot, when he was not the Spot, when he was just a scientist, he's the one who pretty much was responsible, or he's kind of responsible for Miles becoming Spider-Man, and then of course Spider-Man Miles like having the collider explode and him turning into the Spot. Yeah, it was like, yeah, the way they tied together, that was cool. And of course with Miguel's motivation in this movie, I thought that was great, as I mentioned, with him like telling that he broke the canon, of course, when he went into a different universe where he had died, but he took over like his family, but it all went to like kind of like shit after that. I thought that was a cool motivation, and seeing where he messed up in the past, like he knows that this should not happen again, and that like that's why he wants to stop Miles. That's why like I thought, okay, you can see his point of view and the way he's like, why don't consider him a villain or like an antagonist? He's just like he's an antagonist to Miles, but you feel for him and you think, okay, this is kind of the right thing to do because he sees everything going to shit if this thing happens again. And I love the way they opened up the movie with Gwen Stacy's story at the start of the movie, where you saw her like what's happened to her when, of course, like her having being kind of responsible for the death of Peter Parker in her universe because he like turned himself into the Lizard in that universe. Was it the Lizard? I think it was like the Lizard. But yeah, she had to stop him and he ended up dying. And you kind of like you feel for her in that moment, and then of course her father coming in, wanting to like try to hunt Spider-Woman down, not knowing that it's his daughter. And then of course later on in the movie she reveals or that she's Spider-Man. I thought it was pretty cool. Actually, that was at the start too, I think. So yeah, I thought that was cool. Like it was just a really good way to build on Gwen Stacy's story in this movie. And also with the live action references and cameos in this, I thought it was cool because we saw with Spider-Man or like the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield and him and Gwen Stacy, and then Captain Stacy, and of course with like the first Spider-Man when Uncle Ben died, I thought, okay, that was cool to show that. And then when they showed I forget when they showed Donald Glover as the Prowler, something that has not happened yet in a Spider-Man movie, because like he was not the Prowler in Spider-Man Homecoming. So I was like, man, when I saw him, I was like, whoa, man. I was like, whoa. Because like I just thought about him like playing the Prowler in a future movie just yesterday. I think when I read about Sony wanting to make a live action Miles movie, and I was thinking, would he come back for that? So yeah, I guess he's gonna if they put him in a cameo in this movie. So yeah, it was cool to see him. I think he popped up twice. So I was like, wow, okay. that was crazy. So yeah, like they're blending in live action with like animation, which is pretty cool. And I see him cameo here. Yeah, I think they are pretty much going to use him in a future movie. Probably, we'll see. Like he appeared in the MCU, but Sony's kind of doing their own thing, like with their movies too. But yeah, I thought the live action stuff that was pretty cool. They didn't overdo it. Like I thought Tom Holland was going to show up in this movie, and I was going to be like, okay, that would have been a little too much. But what they did with the live action stuff, I thought was pretty good in this. So yeah, but yeah, it was a great movie. It was a great movie all around. And of course, with the ending of the movie being a cliffhanger, I mean, I want more. And I think the next one comes out in March next year. So it's not a full year we have to wait. So yeah, unless it gets pushed back. Hopefully it doesn't. Cross my fingers it doesn't. The movie was truly an amazing work of art. I loved it. Loved everything about it pretty much. You can tell me your thoughts about it too. Down in the comments below. Did you love it as much as me? Was it amazing to you? Tell me down below. All right. But thank you for watching this review. I appreciate it and hope to see you later. So until next time, Rebel out.